Welcome back inside Fisher Stadium. Matt Provence and Matt Panto with us. And, your final score, Bucknell winning by an 11-8 margin. And so for the Bison, they have now won 4 games in a row, as we talked about. And Lafayette College, still trying to get through some of these injuries, has lost 3 in a row. But even so, against 3 very good teams, we're starting to see some positives. Saw some today.
I saw a lot of positives, actually, and a healthy Stephen Bauer is going to help, and getting that consistency out there. Ed Stubitz, I thought, played pretty well for his first collegiate start. The man down defense played pretty well. There were a couple of good dodges in there from Serling and Floyd, and I think when you develop that consistency, I think you're going to start to see in the latter half of this season Lafayette really maybe start to pull one of these 1, 2, 3 goal games out.
And, the one constant has been Tom Perini, and today 5 more goals. So congratulations to Tom, who now moves into 5th all-time in terms of goals here at Lafayette College. And, he's just it's fun to watch because of what he can do. And as the other guys around him, as you mentioned, Floyd and Bauer get back, his numbers will only continue to increase from this point.
Absolutely. And having Bauer back is certainly going to help because Stephen can dodge and he can create opportunities for not only Tommy, who just give him a little bit of space and he can find the back of the net, but other people like Franklin Floyd. Franklin, I thought, had a couple of great opportunities today, and just maybe a little bit of hard luck here, hitting a post here and there, or Feeney with a couple of big saves. But having Bauer back and everybody else feeding off of that return is certainly going to help.
Another big positive today had to be the effort for the team. Obviously, the team could get down, having lost 3 in a row, but you saw this team fight all the way to the end. In fact, scoring within the final couple of minutes to make it a 3-goal game. The effort was very good. They withstood a couple of runs, and every time you thought, well, they could fall behind by a big amount, they battled back and made it a ball game. So again, there are some positives and some things really to look at positively from this game. But before we wrap up the complete Bucknell picture of today's game, let's get a look at the statistics and see how the teams were on paper in comparison to one another. And that starts with the shots, and you see a big differential, and you and I talked about it, Matt, but the 39-24 disparity, a large part due to the man-up situations that Bucknell had.
Yeah, you're going to look at the shots, and you're going to think that really Bucknell dominated this game. It wasn't that they dominated the game, it's just that they had a lot more time of possession because of those man-up opportunities and had a lot more shots because of those man-up opportunities. When Lafayette had their chances on attack, they really did a nice job of getting quality chances and quality shots off of those opportunities.
Going down the list a little further, you see shots on goal, 25-17 in favor of the Bison. Saves, well, Ed Stubitz had 14 of them in his first career NCAA start. Kyle Feeney, such a good goaltender, forced into 9 saves. Face-offs, this seems a little bit different than what we saw today. I guess because when Cesar Munoz won face-offs, 3 times he assisted Tom Perini goals. But even so, in the end, Bucknell leading that category at 21-12. 21 other 12 overall, and ground balls fairly even, 28-26 margin in favor of the Bisons. And then quickly, your goal scorers today for the Lafayette Leopards, you had 5 out of Tom Perini, as I mentioned a moment ago. 3 of those assisted by Cesar Munoz. 2 goals for Stephen Bauer, 1 for Greg Alice, and that was, their scoring today in terms of goals. And for Bucknell, balanced attack, as you'd suspect from a very balanced offense. Eisenreich had 3 goals before he went down with what we think was a shoulder injury, but Billy Eisenreich had 3 at that point. He also had 3 from, who they have 3 from, can't even read my own writing, 2 from Street. They also had 2 from, again, Sudis, 1 from Dan Alishin, and 3 from Klipstein. I kind of purposely write his name down wrong because this guy's had a very storied run against the Leopards, 8 goals a year ago, 3 for Klipstein here today. So their leading goal accumulator adds 3 more to his ledger, and those were the goals being scored here this afternoon by both teams. Wrapping things up, again, we talked about it, road trip now, 3 games for the Leopards, starting with a game at Drexel. It's going to be time to start winning some road games, hopefully, according to Coach Mangan.
And no better place to do it than on the road here. As you drop the home contest here, but you go onto the road now to take on a tough Drexel team, and then you go to Army, the Patriot League preseason favorite. No time to sit and sulk here if you're the Leopards. You got to get back on the practice field and continue to get healthy, continue to get better. Still such a very talented team that Lafayette puts forth here. And really, we talked about it earlier in the broadcast, the parity of the Patriot League. So a lot of opportunities left here for the Leopards, and I expect them to take full advantage of them.
Well, let's hope so. No doubt, still time in the season at 2-4 to make a move. But more to come up starting next week with LSN All Access. Matt will be with the team at Penn State, and you'll have an audio broadcast available at LSN All Access Wednesday, again playing the Nittany Lions, men's lacrosse, and then the next video broadcast will be on Sunday. The women will be here taking on Lehigh.
They'll actually both be women's broadcasts. Women's broadcasts. Yep.
So the women getting busy. A couple of rivals. First Penn State, and then, of course, the other school, which will be here Sunday on the campus of Lafayette. Until then, Matt, thanks so much for the time today.
Great job, Matt. Absolutely.
Had some fun. Unfortunately, again, your final score, Bucknell 11 and Lafayette at 8. All right, have a great weekend, everybody. Until